Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Blind Press YouTube channel and the 30th coffee stream. And I hope everyone's doing well. Let's see. Come on. I want to pause the stream on my phone. Come on, silly thing. There we go. Pause. Damn you, pause. All right, there we go. So, good morning to everyone. Good morning to Chadwick and Michelle and Simply Speaking and Hog Silk. I hope everyone's doing well. And hello, Ghost Dog. I hope everyone's doing well. I'm doing really well today. No headaches or anything, so yay. Nobody's tried to contact me, so yay. Hi, Costin. Good morning. Good morning, Blind Rambler or Mr. Shadow. I hope everyone is doing well, and I've got some stories today that are rather interesting. Got some family disputes to talk about, and apparently the very first haunted house in Canada built by the disabled for the disabled, because apparently we need special haunted houses. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Good morning, Poppy. Hope your night went well. You had a good day or a good night at work, or at least a fairly uneventful night at work. Let's get into the news. Shall we have some news? Let's have some news. Channeling my drunken uncle. So while I open up Twitter, everyone, please remember to like and share the stream. Oh, happy birthday, Ghost Dog. Good morning, Robert Burke. There's a lot of stuff that I pulled out of Discord. So yeah, there's lots that Gunfox provided me. I DM'd myself a whole bunch of stuff, and then I was watching the Canadian. It's called Your Morning, and I saw them talking about this haunted house in Toronto, and I was like, I have to look up this article. So I found the article that was talking about it. So between Gunfox and that. All right, you got your monster. Awesome, Chadwick. Yes, I hope you have a great birthday, Ghost Dog. Now, let's get into the DMs and grab some news. Yeah, I was in Discord last night looking through all the news stories from Gunfox. All right, let's get back here a bit. This one's from The Sun. I think it's one of the family ones. Yes. And of course, since it's Gunfox, he gives us all of the angering stories. Hi, Jesse. So I think Gunfox just likes me getting angry, so. Teen who decapitated his own mom because he felt like it and confronted cops holding her severed head was deemed not guilty by a judge. I guess they're going to say that he was insane.
Oliver Funes Machida was 18 years old at the time of the slaying at his family home in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Oh, he was from North Carolina, was he?
By Dan Hall. October 23rd to updated. A man charged with beheading his mom and then confronting cops holding her severed head in one hand and a butcher's knife in the other was ruled not guilty by a judge. Oliver Funes Machida, who is now 20, was found not guilty by reason of insanity in a court in North Carolina.
Why was he deemed insane?
Oliver Funes Machida, 20, was found not guilty of murdering his mom by reason of insanity. Figure. Link. Image. Associated Press. Visited. Link. 4. Oliver Funes Machida, 20, was found not guilty of murdering his mom by reason of insanity. End of. Oliver Funes. At his hearing on Monday, Machida stood up and apologized to Superior Court Judge Henry Hyde Jr. He said, "I just want to say I'm sorry. Let's hope God forgives me. You are currently on..."
Seriously? That's like, I'm sorry. I hope God forgives me. I killed my mother. I'm sorry. Sorry. Like, every time I hear that, I get that South Park episode in my head with the oil spill and the CEO of BP going, "We're sorry. Sorry." Like, that seems like I hope God let's hope God forgives me. That really?
In 2017, Machida called 911 and told authorities he had cut his mom's head off because I felt like it. You are currently... When cops arrived at the family house, Machida was found holding the decapitated head and a large knife. Franklin County Sheriff Kent Winstead said that Machida was then arrested without resistance. You are currently... His mom's body being taken away from the family home where the slaying took place. Figure. Link. Image. ABC 11. Visited. Link. His mom's body being taken away from the family home where the slaying took place. End of. Machida said at his hearing, "Let's hope God can forgive me." Figure. Link. Image. CBS. Visited. Link. Machida said at his hearing, "Let's hope." End of. The family home in Raleigh, North Carolina, where cops found Machida holding a knife and his mother's severed head. Figure.
Oh my God.
Link. Fox 59. Visit the family home in Raleigh.
I don't want to see pictures. I want the fucking article.
Before cops went into the family home where they found the body of his 35-year-old mother as well as 2 unharmed younger siblings.
Holy fuck! There were siblings there? Fuck. Jesus Christ. Why was he deemed insane? Just because he was fucking calm? Sociopathy is not a defense for criminal insanity. Neither is psychopathy.
Before this week's ruling, Machida had previously been Link described as profoundly disturbed by his attorney. Machida was originally charged with first-degree murder, but prosecutors dropped the charge last year so that he could be psychiatrically assessed. During his treatment, he was said to have paced naked in his room and barked like a dog. A doctor described Machida in the hearing as extremely delusional and believing that he was acting on instructions from God. Link. News and Observer reports.
So he says that God told him to kill his mom and that now he's hoping that God will forgive him. But why would God forgive him if he was just following God's orders? That doesn't make sense. Should have shot him on the spot, says Hog Silk. Yep. I'm sorry if it sounds like a fucking... No. How can you have done... If you believe you are following orders from God, then why would you hope that God forgave you? Because if you're following orders from God, then man's laws mean nothing. So why are you sorry for breaking man's laws if you were following God's orders? And why would you hope for God's forgiveness if you follow his orders? That does not compute with me.
Heading level 3. Most read in news.
And that's the end of the...
Link. Woman accused witch... Woman. Link. Heading. Furious cyclist scratches...
That's
heading,
the
link.
end
Woman.
of the story? What a shitty end. Okay, journalists, you really need to learn how to end your articles without just stop, like, that that kind of puts me in mind of just trailing off mid-sentence, the way these articles sometimes end. Just like, holy crap. No, that sounds like a manufactured insanity defense to me. The worst thing I did to my mom was curse at her and slap her. I was 14 at the time. My dad, I would sword fight him or knee his nads. Jesse, that's awesome. And here's another family story about a couple kidnapping their own adopted daughter and holding her hostage. Because thank you, Gun Fox, for the angering fucking stories.
Group. Banner. Heading level 1. Kidnapping charges for U.S. couple after adopted daughter held in basement. Police say the girl was held in a small room with an alarm on the door and wire mesh covering a window.
Okay, if you don't want children and you want to lock them away, perhaps you should not adopt. Sounds a lot like I was just following orders. That didn't work 70 years ago. No. Good morning, Red Feather One. Hello, how are you? I never fought my parents. I got in trouble and got punished, but none of this crazy shit. Yeah. Yeah, that's just
2203, Tuesday. End of banner image. Thomas Akakaitis and Denise Akakaitis were charged with kidnapping of a girl under 18. Image. Thomas Akakaitis and Denise Akakaitis were charged with kidnapping a child. End of image. Link. Twitter. Link. A couple have been by Russell Hope. A couple have been charged with kidnapping after their adopted daughter was held for more than 2 months in a small basement room. Thomas Akakaitis, 57, and Denise Akakaitis, 55, of New Boston in New Hampshire, are accused of criminal restraint, kidnapping, and endangering the welfare of a child. The pair are alleged to have held the girl in a room smaller than 8 feet, 2.4 m square, which had an alarm on the door and wire mesh covering a window.
Yeah, okay. Like I said, if your instincts on dealing with children is to lock them in an 8-foot room with a mesh on the window and an alarm on the door, perhaps having children is not for you, and perhaps you should not be adopting teenagers that are, profoundly disobedient, because that's what teenagers do, because they're learning how to be independent.
The girl, whose name and age have not been confirmed, was only allowed to leave to eat or to go to the toilet. You are currently on. An investigation began in September when the couple reported their adopted daughter missing.
Did they try to pull a Jean Benet? Our daughter is missing. Oh, we found her. She was locked in the basement. Like, come on. How could you report her missing? She was locked in the fucking basement.
Police say the victim is the Akakaitis adopted child, but are not saying whether it is the same 15-year-old daughter they reported missing back in September. You are currently on a text-sponsored link. The New Boston Police. The child they had reported missing was found safe the next day. New Boston Police Chief James Brace told the New Hampshire Union Leader, essentially, what we're alleging is that they confined a child to a room smaller than 8 by 8 feet in their basement for a period over 2 months beginning in July. The room was not equipped with lighting. There was one window that was covered with a wire mesh that would have made it inaccessible to the victim, he added.
So she wasn't able to escape in case of fire or anything like that. It's not like they accidentally adopted her, says Red Feather. Yeah, I know, right? It's even more messed up since she's adopted. Yeah, exactly. Ghost Dog says, these families make the Addams family sound normal. Holy shit, Blind Press. Yeah, I know, right? I got physically punished until my epilepsy diagnosis. My parents were strict as heck. My dad punished me. My mom, I hated how my dad punished me. My mom at least told me what I did wrong. Yeah. Always tell your kids what they've done wrong. You don't just punish them without. Like yesterday, oh boy. Yesterday, I picked up my oldest from school and I found out that he had taken a kid's glasses off his face and thrown them in the garbage. And let me tell you, our son got in big trouble. But he knew why he got in big trouble, because I sat him down and I talked to him and I was like, you don't take things from your classmates and you don't throw them in the garbage. I asked him, would you throw mommy's cane in the garbage? And he said no. And I said, then why would you throw somebody's glasses in the garbage? And I also said, if they made you mad, then you don't, you talk to them about it, or you tell the teacher. You don't take the glasses off their face. That's messed up. That John Bonet case you mentioned is still is all messed up. Technically, yeah, there hasn't been a resolution. The parents were the prime suspects, but they were never charged or convicted. I hope I'm going to be a better father than what I see around me now. My kids will have rules, period, and consequences if they play me against mom. Yeah, that's what Pink Hollow and I do. We just look at everything around us and go, okay, we're not going to do that. And we also go by, the things that our parents did that didn't help. We try not to repeat, right? What happened, Jacob Gulf City Navo? Well, I don't know why my kid took the other kid's glasses off, and quite frankly, I don't care, because that's not how you solve an issue. Even if the kid provoked you, you don't fucking take his glasses off his face and throw them in the garbage. That's not who we are, and that's not how we do things. And I was very firm with him about that. He did not have very many privileges yesterday, let me tell you. That was not okay with me and Pink Hollow. We were not impressed, let me tell you.
Heading level 3. More from US. You are current. The room was not equipped with.
Oh, and again, that's the end of the fucking story. The room was not equipped with a light and the window was covered. That's the end of the story. Churchy says, I live 30 miles away from the Ramsey house where it happened. My brother's fraternity house was down the street, and he was home for Christmas when it happened. Oh, damn. If you watched a recent-ish documentary on the case, they made a very strong case it was her brother. Oh. Great, I have a 2-year-old nephew. I'm going to have to tell him what not to do. The best thing to do is focus on the good things that they are doing, and then when they do something wrong, you address that at the time. But the more you tell them what not to do, the more you give them ideas. So you just focus on the good things that they are doing, and when they find something that's bad, then you address it at the moment. But the minute you start giving them things like, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, then they're going to be like, I wasn't thinking about doing all of those things, but now that you mention it, because fucking toddlers are crazy. Wow, they say an explosive device was sent to Hillary Clinton and Obama? Really? I didn't know that. Interesting. San Francisco to allow non-citizens to vote for school boards. Because, let's say my brothers and I feel like we will be like my dad. My youngest brother is a great dad. Oh, that's good. It's hard not to fall into the same mistakes that your parents did? Well, they intercepted them at the post office. Okay. Yeah, the more you give them rules, the more they will look for loopholes and workarounds, says Michelle. Yep. He's at the monkey see, monkey do stage. Yep. 2-year-olds are definitely monkey see, monkey do. Oh, the story just came out, says Red Feather. Okay. So let's read about this ridiculous thing that San Francisco has decided to do.
Heading level 1. San Francisco is allowing non-citizens to vote, but few will.
How do you know few will vote? Are you clairvoyant?
End of banner. Link. Image.
This article is clairvoyant.
Link. Algar Rodriguez. Link. It's October 23rd. To file. It visited 1/2. File. In San Francisco. It is among San Francisco AP. San Francisco has become the largest U.S. city to give people in the country illegally and other non-citizens the right to vote in a local election. But the possibility of the Trump administration learning their identities appears to have kept people away. Only 35 non-citizens have registered. You are currently on a tech. It is among a handful of cities nationwide to allow people who aren't citizens to vote, which is illegal in state and federal elections. In San Francisco, they can only participate in the school board race. You are current.
Wait.
It is among a handful of cities nationwide to allow people who aren't citizens to vote, which is illegal in state and federal elections. In San Francisco, they can only participate in the school board race.
So it's illegal federally and statewide, but they're letting them vote in municipal elections. Jesse says, my dad was a disappointment to our grandparents. They were not abusive. Oh, okay. That sometimes happens.
Voters in 2016 approved a measure allowing parents or guardians of a child in San Francisco schools to have a say in their children's education by helping elect school board representatives regardless of their immigration status. In the same election, Donald Trump won the presidency and has since cracked down on illegal immigration and ramped up rhetoric against those living in the U.S. illegally.
Okay, it's not rhetoric if they're living there illegally. I'm sorry. It's not. If they've come here legally and done everything they should be and people are still going, hey, fucking immigrants, that's a problem. But if they're coming here illegally, they do not get a say on what's going on in their kids' school because their kids have no business being in those schools because they're not here legally. Sorry, that's just how that works. What a load of bull. If you're not legal, you have no rights. Exactly. San Francisco is a cesspit. It makes NYC less bad. Well, to a point. That is ridiculous, says Red Feather. Yes, I agree. I absolutely agree.
We're in an unprecedented arena of animosity toward our immigrant community, and that has really stopped people from voting, said San Francisco Supervisor Sandra Feuer, a former member of the school board and a supporter of the non-citizen voting measure.
You are dealing with animosity for illegal immigrants, you asshole, not legal immigrants. People are not angry at the people who have come to the country legally. They are angry at the people who have come here illegally. And they're angry about the fucking caravan of thousands of people coming illegally. Why is this bad? Why is this racist? I do not understand. I don't get it. It's racist to want to have control over who comes to your country. Really? Then I say again, and I say this all the time when I hear this argument, stop locking your doors and let every rando in off the street. Doesn't matter. Whoever's running San Francisco is really corrupt. Yes. I have to fight with my local government to get my garden made. But illegal immigrants get us house. What? Fewer, yeah. You can't have a garden? I heard some of the people in the caravan are from Bangladesh. Not sure how that happened. Yeah, I don't know either. Honduras is quite far from Bangladesh. Don't really understand how that happened.
Non-citizens must provide their address and date of birth to register. The number who had was low as of Monday, but people can still sign up and vote on election day. The Chinese American Voters Education Committee has been holding voter registration campaigns on college campuses, in low-income neighborhoods, at festivals and in Chinatown. Volunteers have not registered a single non-citizen, including a green card holder, Executive Director David Lee said. People are really fearful because the Trump administration is perceived to be very anti-immigrant, Lee said. There is legitimate concern that their information may be turned over to the federal government and that they may end up being detained or deported.
It should be, because they're illegal immigrants and they have no business voting. It's unsafe at the moment. Oh, wow. What part of illegal is hard to understand? I don't know. I don't know. Really quick before I run inside, did anyone catch the part where they were saying they were afraid of the Trump administration? Yeah, I know, right? At the moment, until my GF gets her immigration status from my country. I live at home. Oh, okay. I gotcha.
Lee and other community groups have been inviting prospective voters to register but also warning them of the risks. The city election department also has warnings on its registration form and on flyers saying voter information would be public and could be seen by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement and other agencies. You are currently on the text element inside of web content.
You're fucking good. You're not supposed to be here illegally. You have no rights. I'm sorry. It sucks, but maybe you should have done things the proper way. Afraid with the parentheses around it from Goatman. Yes.
San Francisco is a sanctuary city that otherwise limits cooperation with federal immigration officials. The city has not shied away from confronting the U.S. government on immigration, suing the Trump administration over sanctuary protections for people in the country illegally.
That's not how this works. Why do people think that people just have a right to come and go from country to country? That's not how it works. Yes, how dare they enforce laws? Yes, those bastards. They're not actually Bangladeshi people. The real ones actually marry for a green card, get asylum, or apply to come to the U.S. That's from Jesse. Okay. That's okay, simply speaking. I have those days where I can't type.
Those who championed the voting ordinance say it aims to give immigrants a greater voice at the school board, which approves curriculum, hires staff, and manages a nearly $900,000 annual budget.
They don't have the right to do that. If they want the right to dictate and to vote on what happens at schools, then they need to be fucking legal immigrants. They don't have the right to vote. I'm sorry. Sanctuary city or not. These people are driving me to drugs. Why are they going to taxpayer-funded schools in the first place? Asks Red Feather 1. That's a very good question. That's okay. I can never type. Blind and dyslexia do not mix. Oh, God. That must make reading Braille interesting. You get your E's and your I's mixed up? And your EN contractions and your IN contractions? Ooh, it's 4:20. Yes, it is. Not really, just me yelling about illegal immigrants voting in school board elections in San Francisco.
The San Francisco School District does not keep a tally of its non-citizen parents or children, but reports that 29% of its 54,000 students are English learners, with the majority listing Chinese or Spanish as their first language. At least 40,000 people in the city of 885,000 are in the country illegally, according to government estimates.
Jesus Christ! That's insane. No wonder they want people to vote in the school boards. They're the majority of the fucking population of that city.
Carmate Dillon, a San Francisco attorney and committeewoman for the National Republican Committee, said allowing non-citizens to cast ballots devalues the rights of citizens.
It
You are
does.
currently on a text element. Group 18. Voting is a sacred privilege and a sacred right of citizens. It should not be trivialized for political gain, she said.
No, she's right. It shouldn't.
Dillon, who handles election law cases, said she is not surprised that only a few non-citizens have registered because voting could jeopardize their chances of attaining citizenship in the future. You are current.
Yep.
By voting, people are taking a big legal risk, and for what return? Dillon asked. San Francisco is not the first place with such a measure. In Maryland, where an estimated 15% of residents are foreign-born, at least 6 cities allow non-citizens to vote in local elections. The measures have been in effect since the 1980s, but not without controversy. In College Park, home to the University of Maryland, an amendment that would have allowed non-citizen voting failed last year. One reason so many cities in Maryland have enacted non-citizen voting laws is that municipalities are allowed to enact legislation and implement it right away, unlike other states, said Ron Haydock, an associate professor of political science at San Francisco State University who studies non-citizen voting laws. In Massachusetts, the cities of Amherst, Cambridge, Newton, and Brookline have advanced laws to allow non-citizen voting, but they cannot implement them because they need the approval of state lawmakers, who have not acted, Haydock said. You are currently on a text element, inside of web content. To exit this web...
Doesn't San Fran have other things to worry about, like discarded needles and actual shit?
Press.
Yeah. You can smell San Francisco before you get to it, says Cult of Krill. That was a good one. Chinese and Spanish, weird, says Red Feather 1. I am cited too. Oh God, it was worse when I was working customer service. I can imagine. I am not amused. And Krill says, I'm not kidding. I wonder if it's like Cornwall. If anyone's been to Canada and they're driving to the capital, Ottawa, if you drive through a city called Cornwall first, and don't roll down your windows, whatever you do. It fucking stinks. I hate the smell of Cornwall.
Non-citizen voting is a very contentious issue, and that's in part why it's not more widespread, Haydock said. In San Francisco, non-citizens who opt to vote will be listed on a separate roster from citizens and will get a ballot with just the school board contest, City Elections Chief John Arndt said. You are currently...
What? Why would you make extra work for fucking people who shouldn't be voting? Let's do extra ballots. What the fuck? That makes no sense to me. Extra ballots, extra counting, extra work.
Norma Garcia, Director of Policy and Advocacy for the Mission Economic Development Agency, which advocates for immigrant rights, said she hopes more non-citizens will vote if the political climate changes in the future.
I hope more non-citizens will break the law if the political climate changes towards the one that we want. That's what she just basically said. No, BP, this is people shitting in the streets and leaving it there as far as I'm aware. Huh. Gross. Can we just turn CA into the real life Fallout and nuke it, please? Rules are rules. If I break them, I go to jail. So why do we make special rules for people from other countries? Yeah, that's a very good question, Michelle. So they're still hoping for that blue wave, huh? Yep. This is like 2016 all over again. It is insane to watch Albert Einstein's definition of insanity play out in real life. It's just weird to watch.
The numbers are not what anyone would have wanted them to be, but we're confident there will be increased participation once the political tide shifts, Garcia said. You are currently...
It's not going to shift the way you want it to if you keep this bullshit up.
_____. Associated Press writers Brian Witt in Annapolis, Maryland, and Bob Salzberg in Boston contributed to this report. You are...
All done. This story is all done. How does that work? Non-citizen voting sounds like you're just making up a bunch of numbers. Yeah. New Jersey smells like fertilizer and skunk spray. I hate traveling through New Jersey. Oh. They're gonna go even crazier. It's kind of scary, really, says Red Feather. Yeah. Yeah. It is. Because when they lose the November 6th election, there is going to be a temper tantrum to end all temper tantrums. This is my prediction. When the November 6th midterm elections happen and the red wave just tsunamis the blue wave and just devours it, there is going to be a huge fucking temper tantrum the next day. I am telling you right now. Half of the people, this is my prediction. Half of all the liberal lefty people are going to take their day off work. There are going to be riots in almost every major city where it's known that there are liberal populations. There are going to be idiots here in Canada that are going to be rioting and protesting because for some dumbass reason, Canadians protest stuff that happens in the US too. I'm not joking. When Trump got elected, there were people in Canada marching around yelling, "Not my president," to which I was like, very good. Yes, he is not our president. Very good job. At least you paid attention that much. But yeah, that's my prediction. It's gonna be fucking crazy. Those Dems are desperate, says Goatman. You are not allowed to hunt undocumented people. This means you can just print 500 fake votes. That's true. A friend of the Magister says, a friend of mine just visited California. It says a lot when a Chinese tourist complains about the smell, just saying. Oh, wow. I saw it last time. Kids who have been babied all their life are losing it. Yep. I would imagine most of these liberals don't have jobs, to be honest. You know what? You're probably right. I wish we could purge all the ones that want illegals, SJWs, Antifa from all of these countries. Yeah, me too. I'm predicting the Dems will commit voter fraud. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, they will. I don't think it will work. I think even with them trying to pull voter fraud, trying to do all of these things, I do not think it's going to work. I think we're going to see a huge voter turnout in the States for these midterms. And I think we are going to see an enormous red wave. There are going to be some cities that are like, and probably a couple of states that are going to stay blue. But I think that a lot of people in the general public are sick and tired of this ridiculous behavior, and I think it's going to reflect that. That's just my prediction. Oh dear. That's clogged. This is the first time I've heard a lawyer tell people to break the law. Let's see. Illegal means illegal. Why are people in smart jobs so in support of such stupid things? I don't know. I really don't know. Jobs. I can't work at the moment, but when I worked at McDonald's, or when I could, I worked at McDonald's to earn money, but kids don't want low paid jobs. They want to go right after school to get 100K paying jobs right immediately. Yep. Wait for it. 2020, Hillary running again. Yeah, probably. I think she's going to try again. She doesn't know when to quit. She'll keep running, says Chadwick. No, I agree. She can't run again, Robert Burke? How come? Yeah, I think I did see that. Something Hog Silk says, I saw a news thing last night that says if the Dems lose the midterms, it'll be bad for the UK. Yeah, I did hear about that. I don't know how that'll work, but hi, Fleet Admiral. So, what's the next one that I've got here? Fully accessible haunted house delivering scares to people with disabilities. Here's the thing that I was talking about. I read somewhere that they want to give lower income families an extra $50,000 so that kids can pay for school or a house. Jesus, who's going to pay for that? But with taxes. Yeah. Red Feather says she can run again, but I don't think it would be wise. Oh, she's going to. Magister says I'm not sure the DNC would want her to run. Yeah, that might be true. That would just make the opposition bring up how corrupt the DNC is when they shafted Bernie in the past. That's true, but they're so. Yeah, the DNC will back her. She is their queen, says Chadwick. I'm inclined to agree with that. I really think that they think she can do no wrong at this point. And that's been evidenced by, their reactions to everything that she's done and said. So that's, I don't know. So here we
currently
go.
on a banner. Heading level 1. Fully accessible haunted house delivering scares to people with disabilities. Conscora beacon image. Conscora beacon link 16 point back to out of link. Conscora beacon image. Link image. CP link image link. Heading level 2. Local news. You are currently on a heading link. CTV news.
Fucking
link image.
I lost
link
the story. Damn
link
it
image.
all.
CTV link and link link.
Yeah,
Advertise
I'm
with
gonna
Bell Media.
put my headphones back in and find the fucking story. Hate when that happens. While I'm looking for the headline here, remember to like and share the stream, guys. And if you are able, please consider checking out the Streamlabs and Patreon links in the description of the stream. Where the friggity frack is this headline? I hate this. There it is. I found the story. Okay. So this was published Tuesday, October 23rd. So yesterday. So, and it was last updated
Tuesday, October 23rd.
Yesterday as well. Okay.
Some of the traditional fixtures of a haunted house, flashing lights, loud noises, and creaky stairways, can often force people with disabilities to avoid the Halloween tradition. You are current.
Wait, did anyone? Are there flashing lights in haunted houses? I thought they were dark. Anyone? Pincalo says nobody's seen how Rosie O'Donnell came out of hiding. Look how she's dressing. Look how she's acting. She's going to run. You know what, Pincalo? That could be a point. Some rooms have flashing lights, says the Magister. Yes, they do. Okay. There are some haunted houses with flashy lights. Okay.
Robin Frolic, the self-proclaimed haunt overlord of Frolic's Haunt in Toronto, is aiming to change the way these spooky attractions are built by forming one of the first fully accessible haunted houses in Canada. You are currently on. We are the only haunt built by disabled people for disabled people. Frolic said in a recent telephone interview with CTVnews.ca there weren't any accessible alternatives for older kids in Toronto, so we set out to fill that niche. You are
I don't see. There are some people that I know that there are some people with severe autism, and that have like epilepsy and stuff. But yes, but not in all haunted houses. So for those of you like Jesse, you have epilepsy. Would you want a haunted house designed for people who have epilepsy, or would you just be okay with staying away from haunted house? Like, what is your thing? Like, would you be would haunted houses be something that you were ever like sad that you like couldn't go to because of flashing lights or something like that? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying, because I've been to a few haunted houses that weren't specifically disability oriented. And I don't know if it's because of me being blind, but like I didn't feel that I needed a haunted house specifically for the disabled, but I wasn't treated differently by my family. It's Ned Flanders' Heck House. Fleet Admiral says hell no. Also, flashy lights are not the only trigger for an epileptic episode. I would not want to bring my friend through a haunted house even if it had no flashy lights. Okay. Hell no, I can go to them now but when I was a kid I couldn't though. So, do you think this is a publicity stunt? Because this is what it seems like to me. It seems like if there's just some things that if you have certain disorders that you should stay away from, I think. And it sucks that has to happen, but I think that this is more of inclusion for inclusion's sake. I don't see the need for a special house. Usually you have someone with you to guide you. Exactly. Just have people walk through Portland, Chicago, San Francisco, Seattle. Yeah. I could see getting rid of some gimmicks, but I still wouldn't recommend I would still not recommend them to somebody with autism. It would be too much for someone like my nephew. But a haunted house is supposed to be scary. Yeah. It's a publicity stunt, says Jesse. Yeah, that's where I'm leaning towards.
Heading level 2. Related stories. Link. Heading level 2. Related link. Robin Frolic. We are the only haunt built. Heading level 2. Link. Image. Some of the actors at Frolics. Link. Some of the actors at Frolics haunt. Submitted. Robin Frolic. Link. Image. Frolics haunt has several creepy attractions. Submitted. Link. Frolics haunt is heading into its second year and has increased the variety of attractions from a single haunted house to an entire haunted yard on Frolics property. You are current.
What's a haunted yard?
We had people last year who were in their late teens who'd never been able to go to a haunted house and always desperately wanted to, but they couldn't. Frolic said.
Why couldn't they go? And if they couldn't go, perhaps maybe they shouldn't be going. It wasn't because they couldn't go because it was like, get those disabled people out of here. Jump scare an autistic kid. Watch what happens. Yeah. Yeah. People just need common sense. They'll be just fine. Beware the haunted yard. Beware the hedge.
Frolic has more than 15 years of costume making experience and several years of amateur carpentry experience. Frolic leads a group of volunteers who work year-round to put on the one-day event. Frolic has more than 15 years of costume making experience and several years of amateur carpentry experience. Frolic leads a group of volunteers who work year-round to put on the one-day event.
1 day? So this is a disabled haunted house that only operates for 1 fucking day. What kind of haunted houses are supposed to last for a whole month? Not 1 fucking day. You can't always protect them. You know you're going to a scary spot. Exactly. So there are some people with severe autism or severe epilepsy who just shouldn't go. And it sucks. But that's just how it is. Real quick, my phone just told me my PayPal just went off, so let's check the Streamlabs. What a fucking ridiculous thing. 1 fucking day. That's ridiculous. There's like nothing that's craziness. That's just, my mind is boggled. They volunteer year-round to put on 1 day of One day of haunted house. Thank you for the $5 from Ghost Dog. Give gifts of money, but haunted houses can be for most people. Yes. Thank you very much, Ghost Dog. So, let's get back to the story.
This is not a professional thing, Frolic said. This is purely a group of people who get together because we love doing this and we love providing an option for the disability community.
Oh, look at you, virtue signal. We're not doing this for money. We're just doing this because we love the poor crippled people. I could see a week, but only one day? Yeah. Sounds like, look at us, we're so good, but you can only come on one day. Yeah. It's all volunteers, yes. That is crazy, bro. Yeah. Haunted yards are basically cemetery or Sleepy Hollow stuff. Okay. Should try and get Sinatra here. Both his kids are autistic. It would be an interesting conversation. Shit, you know what? That would be interesting. Chadwick, this is in Toronto. It's called Frolic's Haunt.
For Frolic, Frolic's Haunt is all about being as accommodating as possible for as many people as possible, while at the same time sending chills down their spine. There are a lot of very effective things that you can do in traditional haunted houses that we can't do here, Frolic said. We still manage to give a really good experience despite that, and I think the fact that we're accessible more than makes up for the ways in which we can't do it how it's traditionally done.
But what do you do? You're not going to describe what haunts you use? You just say that there are some things you can't do? My big brother guides me to rides that may trigger my agoraphobia, or roller coaster rides that go upside down. Geez, my towns have tons of haunted stuff, yeah. Do you think it's better to be born a Crip or become a Crip later on in life? Sorry, South Park joke, had to do it. Well, I'm going to say that I'm glad that I went blind when I did, because I didn't have to learn how to be blind. I was too young to remember seeing, so it was easier for me to adapt. So I would say I would rather be born that way than go through it later on in life.
The hallways at Frolic's Haunt are wide enough for a wheelchair. Sign language interpreters are available for those with hearing impairments, and there are creepy items to touch designed for people with visual impairments. The house also allows service dogs, provided the actors are given advance notice to stay back if the dog might not be comfortable with people jumping out at them.
So you're still gonna do jump scares? You're still gonna do fucking jump scares? And okay, so you're still gonna do jump scares, and you're saying that we have available like creepy items to touch. Every haunted house I've gone into has had that, and they weren't specifically fucking disability related. The wider halls for wheelchair access, okay, that's cool. The sign language for interpreter for deaf people, okay, that's fine. And you have to call ahead and tell people that you have a service dog. If you're fucking running a thing for disabled people, you should assume that there will be service dogs there. Why do people have to call ahead and say, bringing a service dog and he's not okay with jump scares? Shouldn't you be more worried about the autistic kid that you're trying to protect from the scariness of the haunted house? My dad lost his sight in his 50s. Not a fun transition. No, I would imagine not. funny question. I wonder if at the end there's a guy holding a Bible talking about how they're all going to hell if they continue down this road. Pink Hollow, that's funny. Jump scare with a guide dog sounds like a recipe for disaster. I agree. New Orleans has a haunted house called the Mortuary, and they give to charity every year. They only do it one night on Halloween Eve, but they work all month to prepare. Yeah, they just do it they work for the month, right? These people apparently work volunteer all year round to get this ready for the one day. Sorry, my dog defended me. You still have 8 fingers left. That's awesome. That sounds like a recipe for disaster, having jump scares. I agree. Are any service dogs trained to attack if needed? I don't know. What the fuck? I swear, I just heard a car smack something and then squeal its tires and drive off. Weird.
Frolics Haunt lists 9 types of disabilities they can cater to.
Only 9 types of disabilities. Okay.
Link on their website. Frolic is a member of the Canadian Haunters Association, a group of 108 mostly amateur Halloween enthusiasts from across the country who create haunted houses on their properties. Chris Ainsworth, founder of the organization and president of the Ontario chapter, said he believes Frolics Haunt is Canada's only haunted house designed for people with disabilities. This is what puts Frolic says this is what puts Frolic up on the pedestal because Frolics gone above and beyond what people would even think of doing, he said. Frolic put on a really, really impressive haunt last year. Frolic says accessible haunted houses could soon become a trend as other haunters have reached out for tips on how they can accommodate more people.
Yes, because I want my disability to become a trend. Go fuck yourself. By default, guide dogs here are taught to be submissive. Yeah, mostly your dog's going to be trained to be submissive because if you train them to attack if needed, you're going to have a harder time controlling your dog when you need to. Because a dog's a dog, right? It's not going to know, like it will have some sense of when it's time to attack and when it's not, but it could mistake up on a pedestal. Yeah. Hunter Society sounds like Pokemon stuff. Like any dog, you can teach them to react adorable or aggression. Yeah.
Our end goal is to make ourselves obsolete because other haunts become accessible, Frolic said. You are currently on the text element inside of
make ourselves obsolete because other haunts are accessible. Okay then, so why would you even start in the first place? That makes no sense to me. None at all. Wow. And that's the end of that article, guys. And those were the articles I had picked for everyone to hear today. So yeah, some wonderful fucking family abuse, some stupid voting laws, and a publicity stunt here in my home country. I hope everyone enjoyed it, and we're gonna devote the last 18 minutes or so. Our business doesn't work that way. Yeah, I know, right? For the next 17 minutes, we're gonna talk to chat. And so if you guys have any questions or comments, now is your time. And I just want to announce that on Friday, my best friend that I was talking to you guys about yesterday, or not yesterday, my best friend that I was talking to you about a couple days ago who taught me how to print and everything like that will be coming on. I'm not sure what we'll be discussing yet, but there will be a topic I might ask her about her her ideas on prison, like solitary confinement stuff, because she's going into the field of corrections. So I may ask her opinion on that. Um, so that'll be fun. Um, if there's anything you guys want us to talk about, like suggest some, you guys can suggest something. Um, so yeah, it'll be fun. So what are you and your baby dressing up for as for Halloween, Blind Press? I'm not sure yet. I kind of want to do like a Morticia Adams thing, maybe. Because then I can dress Logan up. I can put him in the carrier and dress him up as Hubert. My oldest son wants to be. There's a cartoon that he watches called PJ Masks, and he wants to be Catboy. But yeah, it would be fun. I don't know if I'm gonna go out with the boys and go trick or treating, or if I'm gonna stay home and hand out candy. Pinkalo may take the boys out trick or treating. So it'll be interesting. My oldest didn't get to go out last year because he was sick on Halloween. So he's really excited to go trick or treating this year. And my youngest is only 18 months old, so he doesn't get it. But that's okay because I can have some of his candy. um, I think I would love to be able to do at least I want to figure out how I can watch a movie without getting struck. Because I've before like I want to do a horror movie stream, but I don't want to get struck. Some customers are odd. No Halloween for me. I'm saving up for a USA trip and getting ready for my girlfriend to move in. When she's here, definitely celebrating Halloween. Oh, well, I hope you guys have a great Halloween when she does move in. Every part, but if he pulls of this any more of this shit that he pulled yesterday, he ain't going. Yeah. Stealing candy from a baby, tisk tisk, shame. I'm not gonna take all of his candy. It would need to be a really old film that's now public domain. Yeah, I know. And the one I want to watch is totally not really old because I want to watch fucking the original Evil Dead because I love that movie. But yeah, I don't want to get struck. We'll figure something out, says Pinkalo. And the other part is, if I want to watch The Evil Dead, I've got to fucking either buy the movie on DVD or buy it off iTunes because it's not on Netflix, it's not on Amazon Prime. You can't watch it on YouTube. And I don't feel like going to virus-ridden streaming sites. I had to This is my boomstick. Yes, it's a 12-gauge double-barrel Remington. S-Marks, top of the line. You can find this in the sporting goods department. Retails for about $109.95. It's got a walnut stock, cobalt blue steel, and a hair trigger. That's right, this sweet baby was made in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I've watched Army of Darkness a few times. If YouTube even picks up the audio from the movie you're watching in the background, you'll get a strike. I know. Yes, Evil Dead is the best. Pinkalo, do you dress up for Halloween? Says Jesse. Oh, I love Army of Darkness. I love the Evil Dead trilogy, like the whole thing. There are scenes from each movie that I just fucking love. Like, I could quote all three movies. I could just sit here and quote them. Oh God, yes. Ash vs. Evil Dead. I loved Ash vs. Evil Dead. I cried when the series ended and I watched the finale. I cried. I'm not gonna lie. I was sad. But it was amazing to have 3 seasons of Ash vs. Evil Dead, and I loved every second of it. It was great. It had gore, it had comedy, it had horror, it had everything Evil Dead. The Deadites were amazing. Of course, Ash was fucking awesome because Bruce Campbell is the shit. Yeah, Bruce Campbell is awesomeness. Bruce Campbell was my first actor crush, and I will fully admit that I had a huge thing for the character of Ash Williams. I had a huge crush on the character of Ash Williams when I was growing up. It was, yeah. The Evil Dead series is one of my favorite horror series. Followed closely by the original Exorcist. That's a great movie. I watched that when I was 12 for the first time. Again, got hooked, wore out my director's cut that I had, and wore out the DVD re-release that came out in 2000 that had the spider walk and all that in it. And I read the book. The book is amazing. He is hot, BP. Yeah. I like his voice. Bruce Campbell has an awesome voice. So yeah, it's I don't know if you've seen Bruce Campbell in any of the Comic-Con panels, but when any of the Evil Dead panels that he's done, he actually gives money to people for asking him questions. It's funny as hell. Never seen The Exorcist? It's great. It made me piss myself watching it, says Jesse. It didn't scare me while I was watching it when I first saw it, but the afterwards when I went to bed and I was remembering all of the all of the demonic noises and everything, I could not sleep that night. When that first came out, it was terrifying, says Simply Speaking. The book is even more disturbing. And if anyone has Audible, I've read the book in Braille and I've listened to the audiobook because I had to buy the audiobook. It was narrated by the author. And you will never get luckier than when you get an audiobook that's narrated by its author. because then it's read exactly as the way the author wants it read. Be sure to go over to Monkey's stream and rant at him and call him ableist for stepping on the blind girl. The Omen freaked me out more than The Exorcist. I laughed at The Omen. I don't know if it was because I can't see and it's more of a visual movie, but The Omen just made me laugh, especially with Gregory Peck. Damien, put the dog down, Damien. It's just so fucking like it's like Atticus Finch in a horror movie. It was so weird. Horror just isn't my thing. I have yet to see a horror film that freaked me out even a little, says Hog Silk. Oh, okay. The remake or the 70s one, says Jesse. Looking it up on Audible now. Oh yeah, if you find it, make sure it's narrated by William Peter Blatty, because that's the author. It's fucking amazing. I'm an audiobook junkie. I'm pretty sure a third of my books come from Audible. Yeah. Yes, I'm gonna kick the monkey in the monkey giblets. As long as you don't touch the monkey butt. He doesn't like that. Yeah, The Omen was pretty lame. He's streaming right now. That's what he did. No, The Exorcist. Michelle. The only movie that scared me was the Blair Witch Project, and that's because I saw it when I was a child and thought it was real. Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw it when I was like 8. It was a cool, freaky movie, but it didn't. It was a cool, freaky movie, but it didn't like scare me as much as the others did. I stopped saying that to GF because she will find ways to gross me out. Horror movies don't scare me. In my mind, I'm thinking how they did it. Yeah, Pink Hollow's kind of like that. To be honest, I find horror movies funny. I laugh at others freaking out. Yeah, I can see some people doing that. Quick, everyone, raid Monkey's stream. Very few horror movies mess with me, but well-written books can cause a stir. Yeah, I don't know who Monkey is. Oh, look up Ranting Monkey when we're done here. He's a great guy. He's funny as fuck, and he does streams and videos, and he doesn't do as many videos as he used to, but he's starting to do videos again. He's really funny. We got 3 minutes, guys. So we have 3 minutes. So while I'm waiting, looking to see if there's any last minute questions or comments, please remember to like and share the stream. Check out the Streamlabs and Patreon links in the description if you're able. Thank you again to Ghost Dog for the $5 donation. And depends on the film. Some remakes are better than the old ones. I haven't found any remakes that I like better than the old ones. The new Evil Dead was okay. Like, it was an interesting take on it, but I will never say it was better than the original ones. Thanks, Hog Silk. So remember, guys, we'll see everybody back here tomorrow morning at 10 Eastern. And remember to come and check out Friday's show, where my best friend will be coming and chatting with me as a guest. And remember, this Saturday's Star Trek stream is going to be talking about the pilot episode of Voyager, and undoubtedly several other episodes of Voyager, because that's what we do. Be sure to check that out. Oh, the Pet Cemetery trailer looks like shit, says Pinkalo. So I hope everyone has a great day. We'll see everybody back here tomorrow. And stay safe out there, everyone.